Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Abdullah Amin is speaking, and welcome to our biology lesson for grade 7 at Horizon International School. Today, inshallah, in this part, we are going to talk about the lesson which is DNA structure and function, the second part of this lesson. In the last part, we talk about the structure of the DNA. In this part, inshallah, we are going to know how DNA is replicated or how DNA is copied and what are mutations. But as usual, guys, before we start, we should memorize some things. We know that the cell cycle, which is the cycle of the cell when the parent cell is divided to make two daughter cells, and which have like many stages: the interphase, mitosis, and cytokinesis. In this stage, guys, the cell gets ready for cell division by growing, by duplicating its organelles, and also duplicating the DNA. In this lesson, inshallah, we are going to know how DNA is duplicated, the amazing process of DNA replication. And also, guys, you should know that the DNA, as we know before, it's made up of double helix, which is made up of nucleotide, and each nucleotide contain the sugar, phosphate, and nitrogen base. So let's proceed. First of all, guys, the process of duplicating the DNA is called replication. So the DNA replication, when the DNA make another copy of itself, so it's called replication. Okay, as we know that the DNA is made up of two strands. Okay, so these two strands, guys, they separate from each other, and when we have the nucleotide that attached to each strand, so this nucleotide is considered as a pattern for a new nucleotide to join to the original nucleotide. Let's see how could this happen, guys. So here a bases on the original molecule are exposed. When these bases are exposed, so a complementary nucleotides are added. For example, if we have this nucleotide which is containing adenine, so another nucleotide which is containing thymine will be attached to the adenine. And on the other hand, if we have nucleotide containing cytosine, so another nucleotide which is containing guanine will attach to this nucleotide. So when the replication is complete, finally we have two identical copies or identical DNA molecules. As you can see, guys, in the page 152, we have this one, which is the original DNA, step number 1. So the two strands become like separated from each other, and then we have nucleotides, complementary nucleotides are added to the original nucleotides, and then finally we have a new strand is formed. So we have each new strand or each new DNA molecule is made up of two strands, original strand and new strand. So we can answer this question: the what molecule opens up and separating into what? So the DNA molecule opens up and separating into two strands. Step letter B: what match up and join to the open DNA strands? So as we said, nucleotides can match up and join to the open DNA strands. Finally, guys, we have two new DNA molecules, or two identical DNA molecules are formed. So they are like exact copy of each others. So this is, guys, a strand of DNA, double strand, double helix. This double strand, it will be like uncoiled, and then, guys, these two strands are separated by certain enzymes into two strands, two separate strands, and then we have another enzyme will attach nucleotide to each strand, and then finally we have two strands of DNA, each one of them that's made up of original strand and the new strand. So we have two copies of DNA. So we have some questions, when DNA duplicated, guys. When DNA duplicated. So we know that, guys, the stage at which the DNA is duplicated before the cell divides, to make sure that each daughter cell have exact copy of the genetic material, so it duplicated before the cell divides. So before the cell divides, its copies its DNA. And the second question is, for how long does it take for the cell to make a copy of DNA? We know that the DNA, which is longest strand, maybe in one cell, the DNA reach up to 3 meters in length. So how long does it take? Actually, guys, it takes just only a few hours. You know why? Because this replication begins in many places, certain places, many enzymes start this replication in many places, so they can work together to make the job done at the same time. Okay, this is about the DNA, and this is the second part of this video, which is talking about the mutation. Mutation. What are mutations? Simply, we can say the mutation is change in the DNA, or a change in piece of DNA. This change maybe in the number of nucleotide, maybe in the type, maybe in the order of the bases on a piece of DNA. And we have, guys, like three different kinds of mutation. This mutation, we have deletion, insertion, and substitution. Deletion come from delete, okay, and insertion, which something you can add or something is being added. Substitution, which is something replace another thing. Let's see them, guys. So if we have this one is original DNA, which is made up of adenine, 3 base pair of adenine thymine, and 3 base pair of cytosine guanine, and 3 base pair of guanine cytosine. So this is the original one. In the case of deletion, so we have 1 base pair is deleted. Okay, so we have just only two bases pairs of cytosine guanine. So 1 base is left out. In the second one, insertion, so extra base, guys, is added. Which one? This or this? Yes, this one. Why? Because we have like 1, 2, 3 base pair, and then the other one is added. And then finally, guys, and this is the most common type of mutation, which is substitution, when a base pair is substituted or like replaced by another base pair. Okay, what can cause this mutation, guys? Actually, mutation can happen by random error, maybe by damage of the DNA, by physical or chemical agents called mutagens. These mutagens, they are physical or chemical agents. They can make a change in the DNA, and this is so dangerous, guys. Yes, we have some proteins that can fix this error, but unfortunately sometimes maybe an error can occur and this mistake is not corrected. And finally, we have a problem, or we have any problem in the genetic code, so we have a mistake. This mistake, guys, if it pass from the parents to the offspring, it can make something called genetic disorder. So genetic disorder resulting from the mutation that can harm the normal function of the cell. Okay, so the genetic disorder comes from the mutation. Okay, one thing else, guys, we have some mutation or some diseases that can pass from the parents to the offspring. We have this disease that's related to the blood, the disease which is called sickle cell anemia, and the other disease, guys, which is caused also by mutation, which is the cancer. So some genetic disorder are inherited or passed from the parents to the offspring, like sickle cell anemia. Other genetic disorder may be caused by mutation through the lifetimes, and the cancer is one of them that caused by mutation during the person's lifetime. And this is everything about the part 2. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and see you next time.